So I've made a bunch of videos about AI character design so far, so much so that this is like the third one in 2 months. But y'all keep watching them, so I'm going to keep making them. Yippee! A few months ago, I made a video on ways to create a character design without using AI, and I wanted to do something similar this time, except with a twist. I want to make a complete character design from scratch, start to finish, with no AI and no drawing. Now, I'm an artist. I'd argue my entire channel and every video on it is made on the basis of drawing. So what am I trying to prove here? I'm going to show you that it is fully possible to translate a character design from your brain to a PNG without AI and without drawing, for all of you who don't want to pick up a pencil or who aren't confident in your drawing skills. So let's go ahead and get started, because this is going to be a lot more difficult than I initially anticipated. So to make a design, you actually have to have an idea, right? I decided for this video I'd be redesigning an old OC of mine, so we're not really starting from scratch with this one, but for the sake of this video, I'll show you how to come up with a concept anyway, just for you because I like you. When creating a character completely from scratch, most people first have a role they need filled in a story or something they want done in a story. So that's the first thing. What is this character for? It can be literally anything. A ruler of a kingdom, a best friend of the protagonist, a sidekick for a villain, whatever you need done. And sometimes you're not sure, you just want to have a character, and that's a purpose too. That's completely fine. In my case, I need a supporting character from my original story, one who is supposed to be a member of a gang and second in command for another character. So that will be her new role. Gang member. Next, we need the inspiration for her visual design, and you know what's coming. I know you do. It's Milanote. Even though Milanote is the sponsor of this video, I was going to use it to make a mood board anyway, so it's extremely relevant to the video. Milanote is literally so perfect for this video, and let me tell you why I'm jumping for joy. If you've watched a video of mine designing a character, chances are that during the video's production I have used Milanote. Milanote is a digital bulletin board designed to be an absolute dumping ground for any idea you have for any sort of project, creative or otherwise. I personally use Milanote to gather references, notes, lists, and inspirations for character designs, as I've shown off in previous videos. But I also use Milanote to write my scripts, organize my to-do lists, and build my kin list. Milanote made this entire video concept possible because how in the world am I even supposed to attempt a character design without drawing? The only way I was able to even attempt it was due to the versatility and abilities of Milanote, layering pictures, notes, and references. Using Milanote's web clipper tool, if I find a picture I'd like to use as inspiration, all I have to do is click to add it to my board and it appears. Milanote is so incredibly versatile that even if you aren't an artist at all, there is some way that Milanote can make your life easier. Have a ton of notes scattered in various documents, import them all into a Milanote board and connect them with labels. Have multiple projects all in the same expansive universe? Don't worry, me too. Layer boards within each other to organize multiple ideas into one place. With Milanote's pre-built templates, all you have to do is know exactly what you want to organize, and Milanote can do the rest. Everything is fully customizable, with each board being able to hold photos, documents, videos, lists, notes, drawings, GIFs, and even other boards without breaking a sweat. So if there's anything you want to plan or organize, any project you haven't started because where are you going to put all those ideas, I very highly recommend Milanote. Best part is that it is completely free with no time limit and cross-platform, so it can come with you wherever you need it to go. If I'm out and about or at school, if I suddenly need to add something to my board but I don't have my computer, Milanote's mobile app is just as advanced as the website, allowing you to edit whatever you need. Give Milanote a try today for free using the link in the description, and thank you so much to Milanote for sponsoring this video and continuing to support the channel. First, I started with placing in all of the art I had of her from previous iterations, which are certainly something, including this Gacha Life screenshot from probably 2021. As you can clearly see, she's a pink demon thing in a world full of humanoid creatures, right? Okay. I chose her for this project specifically because her design is so nothing burger and needs such heavy alterations. It would kind of be cheating if I took a character design that was like 75% finished and just edited it a little bit and went, look, I have a full character design with no AI, yippee! So rest assured that me having a foundation for this design is minimal in comparison to the amount of work I'll have to get done to get her up to my standards. And I do really mean up to my standards. I want to come out of this with a design I would have made myself if I had access to all of the brainstorming in my sketchbook and Procreate I would have normally done for a character design. Except I won't draw, so I guess it won't really be like what I would have done. I've mentioned in a previous video my dislike for Oni girl characters who are cutesy on the outside but are super tsundere and rude, but that's exactly the type of character that Angelica used to be. So after finishing up the mood board, I decided to go to some of my friends for any suggestions and advice they had or directions I should explore. My friend Robin Cinnamon Spiders suggested making her based off of some sort of reptile, so initially on the mood board I'd put horned lizards. Reptiles in general are known for being very durable and adaptable, and so my friend Naomi Pistachiomi suggested I make her an absolute tank with a huge claymore, so you know who I had to put on the mood board. In contrast, Robin then suggested that she be a girly girl princess who is short and jacked and orders people around. After that, as I was looking at her original design that is very tiefling before I knew what tieflings were, I started to have a vision. A prophecy, even. The voice of Angelica herself was speaking to me. Cowgirl! After this revelation, armed with all the ideas from my friends, I decided to start where I'd started so many years ago. Gacha Life. 2. This was actually a lot more difficult than I thought because when I make design concepts in Gacha Life, I normally at least have a concept sketch or two, but because I'm not allowed to draw, I was working essentially just from the ideas I had in my head and whatever was going on the mood board. Her pointed ears and tail turned into fluffy cow ears and a fluffy cow tail, and her horns stayed pretty much the same but probably further apart on her head, I don't know. I didn't know exactly what kind of cow to base her off of, so while searching for cream-colored cows, the most common breed I found was the Charolais, but many pictures of them I found weren't horned. But then I looked on Wikipedia and it says both sexes have horns, and this isn't a real cow anyway, she's pink, who cares? Because Gacha Life 2 is the most advanced and customizable in the Gacha series, I was able to layer elements to more closely resemble what features I wanted her to have. But unfortunately not to the specificity I would have wanted. That's okay though, I ended up taking about an hour or so messing around with every option and layer trying to make a cohesive design, and this is what I ended up with. For her color palette, I wanted to keep the prominent pink and yellow from the original, but I ditched the teal in favor of a really dark purple acting as black. I wanted her to still be colorful, but the black signifies that she's not here to mess around. The bows are to convey the sort of princess vibe that Robin suggested, and I imagined they'd be more prominent if I was able to scale her up to a full design. Finally, these spiked boots are the cherry on top. I love them so much. After finishing this first draft, I put her in the Milanote board to see which aspects needed refining outside of Gacha Life. There were a few aspects I wasn't able to properly convey in the game, like the layering of her bangs, so because of this I decided to give myself a little bit of grace and allow drawing, but only on the mood board and only with my laptop trackpad. This way I can make the smallest modifications to the design, but it's not really drawing. I also decided to try and make her in the Tiefling Maker on Picru by Croessen, but because I'd started with Gacha Life and not the other way around, this couldn't get quite as specific. I still put her in the mood board though. At this point, I wanted so badly to draw her, at least just in my sketchbook to see if the items I'd picked in Gacha translated well to a full design, but I had to exercise restraint. I remembered Pinterest had a collage feature that works about 45% of the time, so I decided to take my chances looking for inspiration there. It was a slow start because looking up spiked platform boots in the middle of my classroom was embarrassing, but I eventually got the hang of it. This layout was actually inspired by one of my friends who made a reference sheet like this for a commission. Shout out to you, Kira. Mwah. And so this actually made the vision of her outfit a lot clearer in my head. I was having a lot of fun adding elements of her outfit and adding little notes for exactly how I'd want them implemented. I even tried messing around with the colors in the Photos app for more accuracy. This was great, I'd hit my stride. Okay, so bit of a roadblock here. She's exactly right, even though there are tons of characters with similar elements who end up standing on their own, this is still something I try to avoid. However, I hate Varessa's design. I think this might be one of the least appealing designs in Genshin. I think her silhouette is incredibly underwhelming, her color palette doesn't fit with her world, and she's overall extreme miss potential. But this is not a Varessa dissection video, so all of that being said, I don't see Angelica also being a pink cowgirl as a problem because I don't really consider Varessa's design as having strong enough elements to make Angelica look less original in comparison. For example, if I design a character in a black and white suit with white hair with black and red streaks and they were compared to Arlecchino, how in the world am I supposed to compete with that? Do you see what I'm talking about here? Okay, tangent over. After I'd gathered enough images, I decided she was ready. Ready for what? Okay, this is where I'm going to lose some people. You can 100% stop here. I think this is significant enough reference for a commission of an artist to bring your character to life. But I wanted to end this video off with a full piece, but obviously it wouldn't be in the spirit of the challenge to draw it myself, because then I could subconsciously make changes that I had wanted to implement but wasn't able to just through the mood board. But then my roommate had an idea. She told me to post a story on my Instagram asking my followers to reply if they had open commissions. And I decided it would be really fun to give this design to one of them and commission them to draw it for me. I thought this was a really fun and cute way to have a finished piece of Angelica's new design for this video, as well as support another artist who supported me. I got a lot of responses really quickly. It was tough to pick just one person, but finally I settled on Love Bites on Instagram and VGen, and he went absolutely above and beyond and perfectly translated everything on the mood board into an amazing full piece. It was so incredibly satisfying to see all the elements I'd put together form into a full character design that ended up being exactly what I envisioned, even though I relinquished the control of being able to draw it myself. I'll link Love Bites' Instagram and VGen in the description. Thank you so much again for doing this for me. Mwah. After I'd received the commission, I couldn't help but draw her myself as well. So here's the full commission that I got from Love Bites, as well as some little doodles I did afterwards. But with that being said, that's the entire process of making a character design with no AI and no drawing. Obviously, I made this more difficult on myself by not allowing myself to draw at all to simulate having no drawing experience, but logically anyone could pick up a pencil to draw out elements they wanted included in their design. I understand commissions are not feasible for everybody. Not everybody has disposable income, but I will say that the commission I got was extremely reasonably priced. It is 100% possible to find an artist not only on VGen, but pretty much any social media platform who is offering full body commissions for under $50. But it's completely understandable if that's out of your price point. Having a reference like this in a mood board or even a Gacha Life character can make it infinitely easier to put a character on paper, even if you consider yourself a very beginner artist. Coming up with all of these elements can be very daunting at first, so having them all laid out for you and all you have to do is draw them on a piece of paper together, it becomes less painting a masterpiece and more assembling a puzzle. There may be a few of you wondering why go through this whole process when I could just put a prompt into a generator and get a picture for free. Number one, it's really not free. The servers hosting these AIs use up a disgusting amount of electricity and water to cool these servers. Plus, these image generators are trained from art from unconsenting artists. I highly encourage you to do your own research, but I have a feeling if you've watched this entire video, this is all probably stuff you know already. And I've beaten this dead horse into the ground enough times on this channel. Thank you anyway for sticking around and continuing to watch these videos. This character is in the universe of my original story that has a video I am working very hard on right now. I've got 4 other people working on this video with me right now, and it is not something you will want to miss, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you're already subscribed, make a new account and subscribe again. Let me know what you think about Angelica's design, and make sure to show Love Bites some love on Instagram. Thank you so much to the people who will pay for me to fly to Jupiter to get more stupider, my $10 patrons. Puntastic Artist, Little Wolfine, Viyun, Zigo Buzz, Wishing Star, Neko Jack, Duran, Nico to the Stars, and Bumby Bumblebee, as well as all of my other patrons, all of my subscribers, everybody who watches this video, everybody who likes and comments. With that being said, I am Inkyo, and I will see you very soon. Bye!